Hello, Fred Davies with The Wholesome Life, and today our discussion is about our visual system, our vision. What a treasured part of us. It's also extremely complex. Being able to see with our eyes is such a treasured blessing for so many of us, and yet it also has so many things that can go wrong with it. And so we have to really protect it and know how to rebuild it if something does go wrong. I cannot imagine not having my eyes, and yet I inherited macular degeneration. I have several uncles who are blind and an aunt, and I started losing my sight very early in my 30s. I lost my near vision, I lost my far vision, I was losing the ability to clearly see pretty much anything distant or close, and had glasses prescribed. It was devastating to think that I would be blind later in my life, knowing that my uncles were blind. When I found the other products from Dr. Christopher's, my eyes were high on my list of things to rebuild. And for over 20 years, I was spending time, as I'll show you in a minute, rebuilding my eyes 6 days on, 1 day off, 6 weeks on, 1 week off, and doing the program to keep my eyes functioning properly, which it did. I was able to put away the glasses and have pretty clear vision for years, for 20 years, by repeating that rebuild, usually a couple of times a year for 6 weeks. It made a huge difference because the plants resonate at the same frequency as the eye, and we're able to bring it up. The challenge was it kept going down. If I didn't focus on it for a few years, I would lose significant vision, and then I'd have to start all over again rebuilding. When just a few years ago, my wife and I did our DNA. We had our DNA ran, and I found that my propensity for having macular degeneration blindness was 8 times normal. So yes, I inherited it very strongly. As I was working through the blocks in my own life, it dawned on me that I ought to check to see if there was a block in my eye that needed to be cleared. And the answer was yes. And through some more digging, I found that it was an inherited block that was from my great-great-grandfather, Thomas Davies. And he had a, not sure what, but it was an abandonment issue because he's actually carrying his mother's name of Davies. His father's name was not Davies. And he felt abandoned, and it got lodged in his eye, and he didn't want to see it. And it ended up being a blindness issue for generations. Once I cleared that block, just 2 days later, all of my testing for the eye formula and eye support went to nothing. I haven't had to use any of that for a very long time now since clearing that block, because my eyes were completely rebuilt. So you have the tool to listen to your body. The knowledge of how to eat temple quality food and how to check for blocks is absolutely powerful in taking care of your body. I want to cover the very basics at the very beginning of this, and then we'll cover how to rebuild the eye. So first, a question. Do you listen to your body diligently and on a daily basis? Do you listen to it to make sure you're eating temple quality food? Do you know how to self-muscle test? And are you using the self-muscle testing tool to clear blocks, to check for blocks and clear blocks, to make sure that you are staying online every single day? And are you diligent in asking your body what your body needs to rebuild? You're the acquisition manager. You don't have to be the master electrician or the ophthalmologist or anything else. You just have to be the acquisition manager and ask, what do I need to bring in? What management do I need to do to bring in the right materials for my body? So let's talk through the basics of energy clearing just one time quick so that it's documented here in this video. First, ensure your energy is flowing forward. My energy is flowing forward. This is my yes, this is my no. If it's not flowing forward, it's easy to reset. With the yoga pose that crosses your legs, crosses your arms, tucks your arms underneath your chin, I'm going to stop for just a second and show that as much as I can with the distance that I've got. My legs are crossed. My hands are out with thumbs down. Can you see that? Hands are out with thumbs down. I crossed my right leg over my left, so I'm crossing my left arm over my right, and then tucking it to make it go underneath my chin. And within 60 seconds, that will zero out the energy and get it flowing forward again so that you've got forward flowing energy. The other one, as you recall, can be done sitting or standing. You can tap opposite knees or you can tap opposite shoulders 5 times each, total of times 5 for 50. 5 times on each side. And repeat the whole cycle 5 times for a total of 50. That's pretty much critical to check every day, and it doesn't hurt to zero out your energy every day. So that's worth just remembering on a daily basis. And you could even set an alarm first thing in the morning to remember to check to make sure your energy is flowing forward every single day. Then check to ensure all your body functions are online. And at least on a routine basis, when you're doing your checks to see if your next 6 weeks rebuild, what it's going to be, whatever that is, you're going to want to check to see what is your next priority rebuild. And so using self-muscle testing, just ask your body, what's my next highest priority rebuild for the next 6 weeks? Now, if you find your visual system is offline, then you're going to just check it. My visual system is online and it goes through, it's offline. You need to check for blocks next. I have blocks. I have hidden blocks. If those come up, yes, I can clear those hidden blocks right now. Or I can clear those blocks right now. Once you've cleared the blocks, clearing all hidden blocks right now, clearing all my hidden blocks, how many ever times that takes, then you'll want to reset it. I can reset right now, reset my visual system right now with 1, 2, resetting my visual system. Now you can remember all those. I know you didn't need that review. And then after you've done that, you ask, does my visual system need support, or my visual system needs support? If that's a yes, we're at the right place because we're going to go through now the things that you need for visual system support. I want to talk about the visual system for just a moment because there's lots of different pieces in the visual system. First, you can actually have damaged nerves, either the eye nerve. I can't twist my tongue right now to get that one out. The eye nerves, or the nerves that control the muscles around the eye, and those can be damaged. You can have a cataract, built up cloudiness on the front of the eye. But with eating properly and getting the right water to drink and stuff, those cataracts should not be reforming, and we'll talk about how to clear cataracts in just a moment. You can have muscle, bone, or ligament damage around the eye. We'll talk about how to correct that. You can have eye and vision problems, blindness, night blindness, far and nearsightedness, macular degeneration, glaucoma, a sty in the eye, clogged tear ducts. All of those things are rebuildable, and you can rebuild any one of those. Let's talk about the different options on rebuilding right now. If it is structural damage, bone, the flesh around the eye, the muscle tissue around the eye, the cartilage that holds the eye in place in some of the ligaments and so forth, the eye or in the eye socket, then the right materials that you might test for is Dr. Christopher's Complete Tissue and Bone Formula. And you remember that's available in capsules, in tincture, in oil to rub on the outside, in ointment to rub on the outside, and also available in bulk. And the bulk is called BF&C in both cut and powder. And that comes with comfrey in it. And that stands for, BF&C stands for bone, flesh, and cartilage. For anything you're rebuilding of structural damage, you'll also want to have calcium there. I drink calcium tea, bulk. Make it every single week, maybe more than once a week. It's also available in capsules and in tincture, and for children as kitty calc. And calcium, you want to test for that and for how much, because that's completely critical for all structural rebuilds and for all nerve rebuilds, which we'll cover in a moment. Now, if you have vision problems, your eyesight has challenges, vision challenges of all kinds, far or nearsightedness, macular degeneration, torn retina, pressure in the eye, glaucoma, clogged tear ducts, any of that is actually corrected by much the same thing. The herbal eye formula that Dr. Christopher put together is very effective in taking care of any and all of those. I've used it myself, as I mentioned, for 20 years. I've recommended it and helped clients with it. So it works on all of those. It's just a matter of being diligent with it. 6 days on, 1 day off, 6 weeks on, 1 week off. The eye drops in that eye formula is meant to be used in an eye cup, and the eye cup, then you put in drops into that eye cup and fill it with distilled water. Test for, the normal is 2 to 5. It might be higher or lower for you. Test for that. And then once you put in a few drops, fill it the rest of the way with distilled water, then you're going to tilt your head forward, tilt it up, and move your eye as if you're looking all around and making your eye go all around so the eye drop absorbs into the eye, softens up the problem. If it's a problem, restores, rebuilds, gives the nutrients that are needed there. Now, you're washing the eye, you're taking the herbal eye formula by mouth also in either capsules, or it's available in bulk. You can make a bulk tea out of it and make your own wash. It is a little involved and has to be strained extremely carefully, so I have a tendency not to do that myself. But that's intended for external and taken by mouth internally in the amounts your muscle testing tells you to do it. And that's usually more than once a day. For most people, it's 2 or 3 times a day. So muscle test for how often that needs to happen for your body. Also, the Bilberry Eye formula is available. I use it in combination with the Herbal Eye formula because it brings more blood to the eye and speeds up the healing. The Bilberry Eye formula is formulated specifically to rebuild from night blindness. And that does work, I know, because it used to be that I had a very hard time seeing at night. Everything would really frustrate my eye to drive at night. It was hard to have oncoming cars, oncoming lights coming at me. And now I can see clearly at night. I don't have any problem with oncoming vehicles. And that's just a matter of rebuilding it with the Bilberry Eye formula. So externally, internally, both Herbal Eye and Bilberry Eye, test for all of those. Now, what if your visual problem is actually nerve damage, either the nerves of the eye or the nerves that control the muscles around the eye? That can also be corrected. The nerve formulas are ear and nerve formula. Go, wait a minute, that's for the ear, right? Well, the eye and the ear areas are close, so test for the ear and the nerve formula. That formula is in alcohol that can be taken 10 or 15 drops by mouth if that's the right formula. But often that's just put in the ear that's closest to the eye and work on that side of the head. The others to test for are Relaxese, that comes in both tincture and capsule. And the Relaxese both relaxes the nerves and rebuilds them. So that's a wonderful one to test for if that's part of the problem. And the antispasmodic tincture is another one to test for. Those are meant to be taken by mouth, not put in the eye. All of those formulas are not put in the eye. Those are maybe put in the ear to absorb faster, but not put in the eye. I have experienced supporting the eye. I've had clients that have done it. These products work. Remember to first start with the energetic side, start with your muscle testing to know what needs to be cleared first, and then just be diligent. It will work. And we love serving you and helping you rebuild the wellness of your body.